All right, Dan, we're live. Would you mind checking out the stream and tell me your vibes? And if you can get to it from the Delaware Rising Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll take a look. I was able to find it on there.
Oh, sweet. All right. Good. I'm loving it.
Yep. All right.
Beauty. How would you feel about doing a little preview chat? All right, I'll have you jump on there. I'm going to grab something from my car real quick, but like, feel free to hype it up, chat about whatever you want. If you want, here's their roster too. Feel free to chill, do whatever you want. Sweet, thanks, man. I'll be right back. All right.
I'm kind of toasty this morning, isn't it? There's Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Delaware Rising YouTube stream, our first ever YouTube stream. So we are hopefully about 5 or 10 minutes away from the start of the match. It sounds like from some rumors on the field that the refs showed up to the wrong stadium. So we're just waiting. We'll be a few minutes away. Hopefully we'll be starting this match. If not on time, hopefully just a few minutes late. So unfortunately today we do not have a scoreboard again, so we'll try and give you score updates as we can, but we don't have a physical scoreboard per se. We don't have, missing those comforts of home. So, but the game should be starting here in a few minutes, hopefully. So stay tuned for more updates. So the ref showed up to the wrong stadium.
Yeah, so there's a 30-minute delay.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
A little bit more than a few minutes
Yes.
before we start.
Yes. Well, we can do a little pregame sesh.
Yeah.
This is nice. Got this just in case.
Right, yeah.
The overheating. All right, fam, welcome. You heard Dan. Dan's gonna be chilling with me. We'll do a little pre-game session here. And that will be going a little bit longer than expected because the referees were told to go to a different stadium, which is across town. So there will be a 30-minute delay. So we'll be kicking off right around 11:30 as soon as the refs make their way to this school.
They go to Granville instead of Grandview.
So I think Greater Columbus has 2 field options that they use, but I think they told them the other field, but we're really playing here at Grandview.
Okay.
Yes. So I think they play at Columbus Academy and Grandview Heights. So they have 2 field options. Okay. And I think that they told the rest to go to Columbus Academy when we're actually playing at Grandview.
Right.
So, all right. At least they didn't tell them to go to the field in Worcester or something.
Right.
So at least we'll still have a game today. Well, Dan, I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your prediction for today's match? Now, I'll give you a little preface, too, before you hear what Dan has to say. So, Greater Columbus, they're a solid squad. I think they are probably leading the entire league in terms of points. I know that they've won at least the last 3 games, if not 4, if they've played one more than us already or not. But they are probably the top team right now in the Northern Ohio Soccer League. So it will definitely be a challenge for us. So with that being said, Dan, what do you think is going to happen today?
I'd like to say that we would be able to get a win, but
Nice.
we'll as long as we keep it competitive. So even if it's a draw or if we lose, 3-2, it'd be at least keep it competitive. I know we had some trouble last week against Mansfield, and so I think we could be happy with at least keeping it close.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely hope that we can keep this a competitive match. And I think we do have a unique situation here because 5 or 6 of the players that are now on Greater Columbus, which was started last year, were players on Delaware Rising. So they essentially left our club, started this club. So we know them very well. We know some of the styles of play that they have. And for example, Tom is one of their players who came from Delaware Rising, and he was kind of one of the main guys in getting this club established. So we have been able to see how he plays. So I think we can utilize some of that and some of those other players that we know, their play style, and maybe combat that with different types of strategies and play styles of our own. So I think that will help us in the grand scheme of things. So I'm thinking it will be 3-2, but in favor of us. I do know it's going to be a wild game. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be really scrappy, especially because a lot of our players from last year are still on Delaware Rising this year. So they'll be going up against some of the former players from last year of Delaware Rising. So it's going to be a good match to watch no matter what. And I know, Dan, you mentioned that there's no scoreboard. You can see one over here, right there, but it won't be utilized for today's match, unfortunately. So we'll just be giving you score updates as we go. And if you ever do have questions about the score or about a call or about a certain player, anything, drop it in the comments here on our YouTube Live, and we will discuss it and break it down for you. And I know, Dan, you were a fan last year as well and helped out with the club a lot, which we really appreciate. And we're super excited to have you come even more into the Delaware Rising family and joining me up here. And a spoiler alert, Dan is going to be doing the live stream for one of our upcoming matches. Just himself, flying solo. How do you feel about it?
No pressure.
No pressure at all, right? Exactly.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Good, and
So-
I'll get you set up with like the mic and
Right.
all that good stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. And then that frees me out to just like run around and do some crazy stuff out there. $30 minutes. Yes. They weren't updated with a change of fields, unfortunately. They did. They did, yep. So Russ went to Columbus Academy. Heading our way now. Just time to chill out in the sun, get the tan on.
I wish I hadn't taken the tent out of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't take it down there, but, yeah, good, like, 'cause my husband's like, he called me on the way here, and I'm like, I need my nap. I can't talk right now. 70 shot, and I'm getting rerouted. I feel like
Yep.
going, there's no detour sign. And so I called him back. He goes, where did you go that you didn't know where you're going? Because he knows I know where Columbus Academy is.
Right.
And I said, yeah, we're at Grandview Heights. He goes, well, the game was set for Columbus Academy. I said, yeah, I remember you said, because they put him on the game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And he had to call the assigner and say, my son plays on the team.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yep.
But apparently this is being assessed again.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Reassessed.
Right. If they make it to the right field too. Right. Exactly. Nice. At least we got a little breeze.
I mean, I have a tent in my car if you want me to go get it. So,
Are you talking about like one of those?
yeah, I have like a pop-up tent.
Why do you carry that with you?
We were out at Allen Creek.
Oh,
last week
nice.
For Memorial Day. And
Nice.
I didn't take it out of my car.
Nice.
So,
No, that's cool.
I mean, if they want it, and, if we want to set it up, I can go get it.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We can let him suffer a little bit. Yeah. Just.
Do you have enough subs to let himself in?
I think we do this time. Yes. We brought a big chunk of boys, so we should be good. That's true. That's always a good question. I think they brought a lot as well. And for those of you just joining us, there is a 30-minute delay as the referees make their way from the other field that we were scheduled to play at, but it got changed. So now the referees are making their way over from Columbus Academy to Grandview Heights. And as we were chatting with one of the Delaware Rising fans that made the trek down here, she also mentioned that this game may be reviewed by one of the official officiating crew members who does reviews of referees. So the center referee, I would assume, would be the one that gets reviewed. So that essentially means that there is an important member of like the refereeing association will be sitting in the stands and will be observing how the center ref handles the game, the different calls he makes, all the different elements of that to see if that center ref is worthy of continuing on in his education and making it to further levels up into the higher echelon of soccer in Ohio, at least. And personally, for me, I love that. I love when that happens. One, because it's cool to see more referees continuing working on their education, trying to get to higher levels to better themselves and to better officiate games around the state of Ohio. But also, that usually means a higher level of officiating as well, which is exciting too.
Looks like they just pulled up.
Nice. And Dan, the beat reporter on the ground, he was looking around and saw car pulling. It looks like it was the referees. So hopefully we'll be able to get this started much sooner. That would
Just
be
a few
great.
minutes late.
Yeah, we're 3 minutes past official kickoff time. So yeah, if we can sneak them in quicker, that would be great.
Makes up for our early start last week.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, we got a nice early start last week. And we have 2 away matches coming up, if I believe.
Is that including this one? Or 2 more after this?
I think 2 more after this still.
Okay.
I'm not the best with memorizing our schedule, which I should be. But I know that our next home game is June 21st. So for all of you that do make it to our away games, we really appreciate you. Of course, the schedule's on the website. But then also, I know for sure our next home match at Buckeye Valley is June 21st. It'll be a good one because it's going to be against Greater Columbus. So a quick turnaround, bringing them up from Columbus to play at our home stadium. So we'll get a good look at them here, hopefully get a win, and then maybe do the double as we bring them back up to Buckeye Valley. Looks like the refs are here. Dan, the man, is on point. He called it before anyone else. What a guy. So coaches are bringing the teams in, going to pass out instructions, set the formation up, and then we will get underway. And then, Dan, before I kick you out, do you have any final parting words of wisdom? And then I'll set up like the mic and get everything ready to rock and roll for game time.
All I have to say is, let's go Rising.
Love it. I love it. All right, Dan. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And then if you are at future games, how about we do this? We'll do
Sure.
a little
Yeah.
pre-game chill, hangout session, chat about the team, the game that's going on. And then at some point, I'm going to figure out how to set up a dual microphone system so we can both be commentators. If any of you out there know how the heck to do that on an iPhone, send your wisdom our way. I've tried a splitter. That did not work. I'm going to have to try to get like some fancy type of setup, which maybe we will do in the future. You know what? Use this because I forgot my dongle.
Oh, do you need one of the lightning connectors?
Yeah.
I have one in my car.
Oh, could I borrow that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll be back. in a
Oh,
second.
you're the man.
There's that.
Oh,
for
thank you,
you.
sir. See, look at Dan coming in clutch. He has literally everything in his car. A tent, an iPhone dongle. What a guy to have. And right now, you're just hearing some of the audio just from the native iPhone. So I wanted to have me and Dan up here in the press booth just chatting about the teams, the pregame, the setup, all that kind of stuff. But I'll be plugging in the official microphone, so we'll have a legit setup where you can hear some good quality audio as we narrate this match for you guys. And as you heard, kickoff was slated for 11 a.m. A bit past that now. Referees ended up going to a different field, but we've got them now. So kickoff looks to be imminent as they get geared up, stretched out on the sideline. We should have a good match in store for all of you. And I know one of my struggles is always getting so into the match that I forget to turn the camera. My goal today is to not let that happen even once. That's my objective. And we are streaming on YouTube today, as I'm sure all of you know if you are watching this stream. And this is our first stream on YouTube, trying that out instead of being on Facebook to try to get a little bit more reliability, and it's already looking pretty solid. So thank you all for joining us here for the pre-match. We should be getting set up and ready to rock and roll. So yep, the officiating crew is here getting set up, but it also looks like the official reviewer of the referees is also here. So it looks like this will be a match that is reviewed for our center ref. You'd love to see it. And don't forget, you can drop your comments, messages, questions, anything that you would like to know in the chat here. Hit us with your questions, and I'll make sure to get you responses so that you guys know what's going on during the game. If you have questions about a call, if you want my breakdown, if you just want to cheer on the Rising, we appreciate that. And referee chatting with the teams. Got the roster, getting them ready to rock and roll. Oh, you are the man.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. Make sure I give this back to you.
Yeah. I have another one in my car anyway, so if not, it's not a huge deal.
Well, I'll find you for sure.
So,
Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, and there goes Dan. What a guy. setting us up with the dongle as we're about to get underway here. Refs still stretching out, getting their gear on. And now I'm gonna adjust our microphone settings here real quick so that we can get the legit setup ready to rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're good to go. The mic is on, we're rocking. Let me know quickly, for those of you that are chilling with me on the stream here, how does the audio sound for all of you? Because I want to make sure that it's good and everything is set up and rocking and rolling. Not too loud, not too soft. If you hear any wind noise, drop it in the comments, let me know. I would be very appreciative of you all for doing that. Because we are out here, we're not in the press box today. We're standing on a platform next to the press box. We're close. We got a decent angle here. It will be nice to see. And personally, from my perspective, I am the assistant coach at Buckeye Valley High School, and we have played Grandview Heights. We played them in our regular season, and it was a close match. It was competitive, but unfortunately, we ended up losing by a few goals. But I'm getting excited because as soon as our Delaware Rising seasons end, which we still have a ways to go, so I'm excited about that, but as soon as that ends, high school soccer picks up. And it is exciting because J.P. Selisgar is one of my players. So it's great to see him getting some reps with the Delaware Rising boys and playing really well. Definitely competing against some of these larger college, post-college players. That's good stuff. So we should be having a solid season for Buckeye Valley next year. I'm looking forward to it. And a good showing so far today. Nice traveling Delaware Rising squad of fans as well. Love to see that. Taking over the home and away side. Couldn't ask for more. We appreciate all of you that do make it all the way down here for these games. All of our away games, I know some are further than others. We always have a good representation, so we appreciate all of you. And our referees, you can't quite see them. Maybe see one of, yep, two, just three just standing up in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, getting all the gear out, getting the flags ready to rock and roll. So kickoff should be within the next 5 minutes, I would think. And for those of you that are just joining us, kickoff has been delayed, let's say about 15 minutes now. Referees ended up at the wrong field, but we have them. They're ready to rock and roll. Checking out the field now. Making sure everything is good. All the goals are ready to rock and roll so we can get this match underway. You can see Delaware Rising right there down in front of you in the away blues, which is one of my favorite kits as well. But I know you can't see me, but I am ultimately in the orange keeper kits from last year. One of my favorite kits too. It is a bit of a toasty day today. 73 is your temperature at the moment. Of course, add 10 degrees for the guys down there on the turf, so 83. Good day for some soccer. A bit breezy. Not too bad. Tries to keep you nice and cool while you're on the pitch. And if you do see an umbrella like this pop over the top, I'm trying to shield our phone from the sun so that it doesn't overheat, because we've had that in the past, and we're learning. We're learning ways to make this stream even more legit by just putting up an umbrella over top. But again, for those of you just joining us, there will be no scoreboard today, so I'll keep you posted on the score And if you ever have questions about the score or need to figure out what it is, just drop a comment. And either myself or I'm sure all of our awesome viewers will jump in as well and give you an update. Guys down there making fun of me with my umbrella, holding it over the screen. It's fine. You got to do what you got to do. It looks maybe a little goofy. It's all for the stream. It's all for the team. Up the Rising, baby. And especially such a great game that's going to be going on today with the history between some of these players. It'll be exciting to watch, especially because Greater Columbus, very strong team, leading the league. Got some great goal scorers, so they will be testing our defense for sure. But I'm looking forward to my prediction coming through of 3-2 for Delaware Rising. And as we do sit at the bottom of the table with 0 points, we're still 0-3 at the moment. But hopefully we'll be able to snag at least 1 point out of this one. But if we're able to take 3 from the leaders, that'll definitely change the trajectory of our season. And referees are now calling captains to meet at the center line. So that means we are very close to kickoff. And there you go. You see that referee getting loose, sprinting down the sideline. That must be our center referee. And the 2 captains down there, Tom and Evan Worley, both played for Delaware Rising last year. A fun little meetup of the 2 captains. And Tom was one of our captains last year. And Evan now taking over the role of one of those captains for Delaware Rising. And the last method of business, referees looking to get game balls. And a quick adjustment from the referees, making sure they can move the benches back so that that lane is cleared. It's a good move, too, so no injuries happen when stuff gets chippy on the sideline or people are sprinting out of bounds trying to save a ball, as well as for the referees running up and down the sideline. And if you're not able to hear, there is a vuvuzela. We love it. Across the way in the visitor stands. I say bring on all the vuvuzelas. Maybe we should just get a bunch of them and give them out at games. I think that's the plan. So the more noise, the better. And Delaware Rising has taken the pitch. They're ready to rock and roll. We'll see what formation they want to run. See if potentially a 3-5-2 is one of the formations that has been popular with our coach so far this year. And now Greater Columbus making their way onto the pitch as well. And we're finally about to get this game underway. And again, if the stream ever does go down, don't worry. I'll be putting it right back up. But hopefully we won't have that issue with our YouTube stream today as we have in the past with Facebook. Right, and finally, the refs pick up the ball and head to center field to kick this match off. And again, a little bit of a late start, 11:20. It's probably about when we'll kick off. So 20 minutes after our scheduled kickoff time, refs ended up going to the other field that Greater Columbus plays on. And now Nick on the ball, getting ready to kick us off. And one of the refs over on the corner had to adjust the corner flag because it wasn't placed correctly. Ref checks in with the keepers, sets his watch, and we are underway. So Delaware Rising in your dark blues, heading from left to right with the orange keeper, Sexton. And Greater Columbus in the white, heading from right to left. And Sexton, the sweeper keeper, getting some action early. And some new positions for some of our players, as you see Seliskar passing back to Schwalik, who is one of the three playing in the back. But some good possession to start, some solid passing. And Seth Barrett right there in that center of the three, also playing in a new position for him. And Ryland as well in that back three, Ryland Owens. And a ball over the top, looking for Manavlovsky, who does get there, gets a foot on it. And ultimately deflects off of Evan Scott. As Greater Columbus takes the throw. And that is a big guy right there, number 7. And Evan Scott breaks that up well. Finds the other Evan. And a lovely ball over the top to Evan Scott, who is onside. Looks up, tries to put the ball in low, but doesn't make it past the first defender. A little good. Quick break there from the Rising. Manavlovsky putting some pressure in that right corner. A little miscommunication there from Greater Columbus. Results in a Delaware Rising throw. We do have some ball boys on our side of the field. Looks like there's one on the other side as well. You love to see that. Getting some of the youth involved, plus helping out both teams greatly by grabbing the ball when it does go out of bounds. Ooh, and a miss kick there from Sexton, the keeper. And there's Schwalik. Shuts that down and clears it only as far as a defender, which Seth wins the header. And now Worley plays it up to McComb. Colin, oh, lovely ball through. And he is called offside, Manavlovsky. That was a close one. But a lovely sequence of play there between Worley, McComb, and Manavlovsky. And if we're going to be playing like that, it's going to be an exciting match. As it looks like Greater Columbus is playing a higher line, which usually means they're trying to play that offside trap, which does work there. But in that situation, you do, as we know, have to have some fast center backs. And one of those center backs, actually for Greater Columbus in that center, has played for Delaware Rising last year. And a solid player. And a foul called. This is Delaware Rising's free kick. And finds Worley with some space to turn. And just go out. Seliskar there with a good body to protect that ball. And a nice throw. Ultimately ends up finding the hands of the Greater Columbus keeper. And a ball over the top. Only finds Ryland, but then Greater Columbus does get it, but Ryland wins it right back. It's Ryland Owens. Has some space. And finds Manivlasky up top with a nice ball. Manivlasky tries to find Scott, but a sliding challenge ends up breaking up that play. And a good switch from Greater Columbus. And there is Seth, who does win the ball. Plays it back to Sexton. And Scott with almost a nice touch in there to Rob. And now McComb has some space. And a little too much juice on that ball. Ends up going to the keeper. Some great sequences of play from Delaware Rising so far. A big kick from the keeper. And Seth wins, and then Schwalik clears. And a big throw. And Seth stumbles, but does get a foot on it, which could be a game-saving tackle. And a long shot goes over the net. Didn't worry Sexton at all, as he just watched that one easily float over the top of the bar. And now there is a giveaway, but Owens does great to get back. Then a foul is called. As that Greater Columbus player goes through the back of Owens, and Owens did a great job getting between his man and the ball there to draw that foul. And Sexton is telling his team to go up. He's going to boot it. Seliskar chips it over the top, looking for Manivlovsky. And ultimately does roll back to the hands of the keeper. A win there by Owens. And good pressure from Scott, which ultimately leads to a Greater Columbus throw. And no foul call there. And Evan tries to play it over the top to Manivlovsky. And Manivlovsky pressuring the keeper there. Almost does get a foot on it. There's Seliskar applying some pressure. Now Schwalik with some good defense. And a good decision there from Owens. Doesn't know what's behind him. Just clears that ball out for Greater Columbus corner. This will be the first corner of the match for either team. There you see Tom, the captain, taking this corner for Greater Columbus. And Greater Columbus does have some height. So hopefully Delaware Rising is able to defend well. And it's a low corner, and ultimately on the other side. But some great defending there by the keeper to get big and punch that out of the danger zone. Tom switches sides. And a nice ball into the box. And away from Delaware Rising. But it's going to come back at him. Seliskar gets a touch on that. And then ultimately defends it very well. Kicks that out of bounds. Good switch. Greater Columbus starting to settle into the game a little bit more. That's a Delaware Rising throw. Seliskar to take. Ultimately finds Barrett in the back. That one will go out off of the boot of Sexton for the Greater Columbus throw. Good pressure there by Evan Scott. And it hits off a Greater Columbus player for Delaware Rising throw. And Comstock with a lot of time in the center. Tries to find McComb. Now here's Morris. Now Schwalik. There's Seliskar. Finds Worley. Some quick passing here from Delaware Rising. And a ball over the top, but just a little too much for McComb. Ball up top. Good trap there from their striker. When Evan Scott takes a tumble, looks like a turf got, or a cleat got caught in the turf. You don't want to see that. A little bit of kickball going on as possession goes back and forth, but now it falls to the feet of Morris. That's a good smart play there. Reset possession. Now it's with Owens on the wing. Now Schwalik. Tries to find Comstock, but it gets deflected to Worley. And then Comstock tries to find Evan. Unfortunately, a little miscommunication sends the ball out for a throw for Greater Columbus. And Owens boots that up, keeps it in. Good stuff from him. Finds the feet of Worley. Now Scott tries to play the ball through to Manivolovsky. And there is a foul call against Evan Scott, as he does get beat off the ball, but then hustles back and tries to get in front of his man. Nothing but a foul there. Greater Columbus with some good movement there. And it's a big kick. Almost goes out of bounds, but does keep it in. About 10 minutes into the game so far. And that is when we will see our first substitution. Number 6 will be coming on. Number 8 is coming off. Looks like that's Alec Watkins. He was a former Delaware Rising player as well. And now we're ready for the Greater Columbus throw. And looks like that was Miller. That ultimately clears that out. Some good defense. And I think I was calling him Morris by mistake. We have a Miller and a Morris on the squad, but Miller is number 16, who is in. Morris is not in at the moment. And a big long throw. Ultimately goes off the head of a Greater Columbus player, but finds the waiting arms of Sexton. Sexton plays it over to Schwalek to work it out of the back. And Schwalek, almost a nice ball over the top to McComb, and McComb is a speedster, but the ball filters all the way through to the Greater Columbus keeper. Selskar has the ball, kicks it to the center, and then Owens tries to get a foot on it, but ultimately recovers really well. Good stuff by Owens there to dispossess his man. Good recovery speed. Fortunately given away by Evan Scott. And ultimately given away by Greater Columbus now. Delaware Rising has a chance to counter, and some great hold-up play there. Combe realized it wasn't on, didn't have enough options. Greater Columbus had some players back. And Miller gets dispossessed. And then runs back and knocks the player down. And bear with me, I'm going to adjust our camera angle just a bit. And there's a ball in from Greater Columbus, and that is saved by Connor Sexton. Looks like that was a cross that ended up being on frame. But a good catch nonetheless from Sexton. And Evan sees the keeper off his line after a bad clearance, tries to go for the big kick, but it is deflected as now substitutions are being made. And Nate White comes on for Evan Scott, giving Evan a break after he's had a lot of action on this side of the field. That is a throw for Delaware Rising. Ball is in the box, but ultimately cleared out by a Greater Columbus player. So that will be a throw right behind the corner of that building that you'll see. And just a quick score update, it is still 0-0. And Miller has a hit, but does get deflected on the way through, which ultimately is still on frame. A big kick downfield, takes a bounce, and Schwalek ultimately wins that. And yeah, that looked like that was a foul as the Greater Columbus player put his arm through Schwalek. And they do get across the box, Miller clears. Ball into the box, and Seth, a lovely challenge there, prevents the Greater Columbus player from getting to the end of that ball, gets his boot on it to prevent it from going toward the goal of Delaware, and Sexton is able to gather and hit it downfield. And a good challenge from number 7 of Greater Columbus. You do see number 23, Nate White, now on that right wing position. Good step there from Evan Worley. And McComb, unfortunately, just too big of a touch. Now number 6 for Greater Columbus switches the play. And Selskar with some good pace. The great interception. Takes that ball, but unfortunately Greater Columbus win it back. And nice play from Nate White to find McComb with some space, who ultimately does win it with a sliding challenge, but it does go out for a Greater Columbus throw. And a substitution is being made for Greater Columbus. Trying a quick little give and go between Miller and Worley. A good win from Miller. Worley finds Comstock. Comstock trying to find Nate White, but played a little bit behind him and goes out for a Greater Columbus throw. And now a substitution being made for Delaware Rising as Comstock gets a break, and Lumbee takes that right center midfield position. And then Worley gets on the end of that pass and ultimately makes its way back to the Greater Columbus keeper. Takes a quick throw. And you can hear some of the Greater Columbus individuals yelling to push it forward. Good defense there, ultimately forces that Greater Columbus player back. And a great interception from White. And now with some space to play, and gets dragged down. Oh, and no call. That is incorrect. His arm was on top of his shoulder, but he does get back up and watches it play out. And the ref is having a conversation with Coach Tyler. And as we do know from previous games, he does get very rowdy. He'll tell the ref what he thinks. And coming from the referee standpoint, this is how you need to handle conversations like this. And a yellow card is now issued for Coach Treadway. So now that means he's still able to stay on the sideline. However, he has to be very careful, because if he does get another yellow card, that means he has to leave. He is out of the game. So hopefully we'll see him a little bit more subdued now, knowing that he is on the book. And now to throw in for Delaware. Ref checks his watch and gets us back underway. And now we do see a press coming from Greater Columbus. That was a tactical change that we have now just seen, but a lovely ball over the top to Worley. And Worley almost gets there, but just a step shy. Just another quick score update. It is still tied 0-0. Nothing really has threatened either keeper quite yet. There have been some good attacking sequences, but nothing that has resulted in a full-out shot on net. Ball over the top, intercepted by Schwalik. Now Lumbee with a lovely first touch. But unfortunately, just hits it into a Greater Columbus defender. And now White on that first touch, which is great stuff. And that is another incorrect call from the referees. Unfortunately, we could see it from our angle. And another yellow card issued for Tyler Treadway. So that is a red card. So now he has to leave the premises. So a red card issued ultimately because 2 yellow cards. So if you are unaware, 1 yellow card plus another yellow card. And now Dembski is getting a red card. He must have said something on the sideline that we can't hear. So a little mayhem down there on the Delaware Rising bench. now that sends Dembski and Treadway to the parking lot. So now, time for our assistant coach to step up big. We have Coach Chris. He was actually a player last year, now making his interim head coach debut. And Coach Chris, he was playing as a goalkeeper last year for Delaware Rising and now has stepped up into the assistant coaching role. We do appreciate Chris for jumping on the coaching staff, making sure our boys are trained up, and now making sure we have a coach to finish out this game. And now referee making sure that John Dembski and Coach Treadway are all the way out before he resumes play. And now we are ready to resume. It is a Greater Columbus throw. And now Lumby finds McComb. And a lovely little outside of the boot. Almost finds Worley. Unfortunately finds a Greater Columbus defender. But he ultimately loses out. Tries to flick it through. Unfortunately, ultimately only finds a Greater Columbus defender. And now their keeper. A little fancy footwork by him. And a good pass to number 9. And a lovely sliding challenge from Cody Lumby. Breaks up that sequence of play, and now Silascar flicks it up. Miller brings it down and finds the feet of Sexton. And Connor Sexton holds onto the ball too long, and a Greater Columbus player applies pressure, so he just has to boot it out of bounds for a throw-in for Greater Columbus. And Nate White with some good defense there to keep his man back. And Miller ultimately bodies his man well. Tries to keep the ball and roll it out of bounds, but ultimately shields his man off and keeps it in bounds. And now Delaware Rising with some possession, but unfortunately I jinxed it as Silascar ends up passing it to the other team. And a lovely sliding challenge there from Miller. My goodness. Not only is that difficult to do to time your challenges right, but it's never fun on turf either. Get those turf burns. We're seeing some great challenges from Delaware Rising so far in this game. And the ball over the top. Too much for everybody, so finds the hands of Sexton. And Lumby gets bumped in the back. That is a foul called against Greater Columbus. And after all that mayhem, just another quick score update. Score is still 0-0. Again, no real major attacking sequences that have resulted in shots on goal quite yet. Keepers have had a little action, but it's been more with their feet than their hands. And a big kick there. And a good shield by McComb. And now Delaware Rising tries to make something happen, but ultimately that will roll out for a goal kick. And a nice ball from Barrett. Can't be controlled by Manevlovsky. And Barrett with a good challenge. Wins it back for the Rising. And Owens gets his pass or clearance deflected, but Manevlovsky with a good first touch. Stepped in well, but now Owens finds himself with the ball. Goes down the sideline. Lovely touch from Colin McComb. Now with some space in the center. Switches the attacking play. Now Miller on the ball. Looking for some options. Finds McComb again. and plays a lovely through ball to Cody Lumby. And Lumby flicks it through, takes a deflection, and then ultimately kicked out of bounds by Greater Columbus. Some great passing and lovely through ball there. And now some substitutions coming in for Greater Columbus. But no, it is a Delaware Rising throw. So it looks like the substitutions are not allowed to be made. Or they are allowed to be made, but the ref was holding the players from running on until the Greater Columbus players made their way all the way off of the field. So the substitutions are called in. And now time for that Delaware Rising throw right there in your bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Tries to throw it into some space, but cleared back out by a Greater Columbus player for another Delaware Rising throw in almost the exact same spot as the last throw, so maybe we can get something going on. Now we've tried the space throw. Now he does find the feet of Owens. Goes back to White. Oh, and White, unfortunately, doesn't keep his eye on the ball and just misses it, so it rolls out of bounds. Now a Greater Columbus throw. And some good pressure from Manivolovsky down there. And Greater Columbus ultimately just kicks it downfield. And a good switch. Greater Columbus. And that was the first touch for that new sub. That right back position. A nice through ball. And he is onside. Some good pressure. Good clear. And Owens finishes the job. But it's not done yet. And number 6 swings it across. And that substitution with some fancy footwork. And a ball goes through. Not sure if that was a shot or a cross, but ultimately goes out for a goal kick. And if you can't hear the vuvuzelas going hard over there, we love it. We love our traveling fans. We appreciate all of you for making the journey down to Columbus to support your boys in blue. Schwalik with the ball. And that back three has been having a very solid game so far. Some good possession from Greater Columbus at the moment. Swinging the ball back and forth, trying to find some space to start attacking. But Delaware doing a good job of holding them back, making sure they don't get near that 18. And a good step from White, but unfortunately doesn't fully win the ball. And tries a cross, tries to ping it across. Not a bad ball, but intercepted by Seliskar. And now Miller finds Seliskar. Seliskar with some time in the center of the pitch. And tries to play McComb, but thankfully the ball rolls through. Makes it all the way to Sexton. Sexton finds Lumby as he's calling for the ball. Good turn. Some good fancy footwork and tries to turn, but ultimately holds it a little too long. Good body there from that Columbus player to maintain possession. And tries to chip the ball over to number 3, who is not the best first touch, but gets the ball back. And a lovely stat from Seth Barrett to knock it out for a corner kick. Some strong last-ditch defending as he stretches out, knocks that ball away from number 3. Great stuff from our defense so far in this game. And the score shows that. Still 0-0. And some substitutions being made. We see Seliskar coming out, Scott coming in, and White coming on, and Schwalik coming off. And the referee holding play, making sure the subs are able to get back into position. And it is a corner for Greater Columbus. And plays it into the box. And another strong punch from Sexton. Barrett wins the ball, headed now down by Worley, and Scott finishes the clearance. As Delaware now steps up And that is how you defend a corner. Good stuff from the keeper. And the next 2 touches by a Delaware Rising player. That's what you want to see. Good interception there from White. And that is Zach White. We have both of our Zachs on the pitch at the moment, and both of our Evans on the pitch as well. So you'll see. I'm not sure. They're holding up some play. I think a substitution was made from Greater Columbus. Yes, that is indeed the play that is going down right now. So subs being made from Greater Columbus. It looks like a sub as well as one of the Nates are coming off. And Celescar is coming back on after a quick break. But sorry, that was both of our Whites on the field, not both Zachs. Because one is Zach White and one is Nate White. But then we have 2 Nates. One's called Nathan, one's called Nate. And we do have 2 Evans. And a good head back from Seth, so the keeper can grab that with his hands. Don't forget, if you have questions, you need to know the score, want to support the Rising or Greater Columbus. We don't judge. Whoever's watching our stream, we appreciate all of you, no matter what team you're fans of. But feel free to drop a comment. And lovely challenge from Anna Vlasky. And a great pass there from Celescar to find the feet of McComb. And McComb with some fancy footwork. Now Celescar trying to go down the line. And does get shoved off the ball. And no foul either way. Just some aggressive playing. The rest letting it go. And I'm assuming that there will be a decent chunk of added time added on to the end of this half for the red card fiasco down at the Delaware Rising bench. And then Evan ultimately takes that ball from the Greater Columbus player. Sexton now looking for an option. Gives it to Owens. And Owens, unfortunately, missed kick, but then another missed kick from Greater Columbus gets it back to Sexton. Sexton pushing his team up. And a good win from Anna Vlasky. That's a hard first touch to control. And good stuff from White over there. Wins the ball and maintains possession for us. But unfortunately, gets closed down. Now what can Greater Columbus do? Still taking their time with possession. And good press from Manivilovsky. Forces the defender to go back. And a ball chipped up through the top, and Barrett with a lovely header to stop that from getting through, resulting in a a Greater Columbus throw. And a big throw down the line from Greater Columbus. And Seth does ultimately win that. And a good challenge again. Lovely tackle, which ultimately goes out for a throw for Delaware. And Seth Barrett is playing well in that back 3 position. And Lumbee with a great challenge. As the ball bounces around, still pursuing that Greater Columbus player. Now Greater Columbus holds possession. And some lovely passing here from Greater Columbus. And now number 8 tries to find his way through, but Seth is too quick, intercepts it, and then ultimately kicks the ball. Tries to go out of bounds, but it deflects off of the Greater Columbus player for a goal kick. Good stuff from Seth. And the boys and back in general. And a substitution. Hermiller coming on for McComb. Giving McComb a much-needed break. And Owens playing quite well. Also, and not having a break yet. The ball over the top. And it goes wide. And Owens gets a foot on it. And does some good defending there. And a Delaware Rising throw. Good body from Celescar. But a substitution now Comstock is coming back on. Cody Lumby makes away. Score still 0-0. Again, no real chances quite yet for either team. And now Hermiller finds himself with space. And it gets deflected to Miller, and Scott holds it up nicely. Looking for the big switch. It's Worley. Now Owens. And Owens plays it back to his keeper. Good possession from Delaware Rising, as both teams have good sequences of possession. And Owens chips it up, looking for Manivolovsky. Finds Seliskar. Seliskar tries to chip it up over top. And finds the hands of the goalkeeper for Greater Columbus. Oh, and a crazy touch. It bounces over White. And a through ball, but Miller tracks back and clears that out for some good defense on the counter from Delaware Rising. And really, both teams looking evenly matched at the moment so far. Even though the table says something different, ball goes over the top and does get deflected by a Columbus player, but ultimately finds the hands of Sexton as he comes off his line quickly to gather that. Manivolovsky chasing that ball. Greater Columbus find themselves with it as it's still kicked around. And ultimately gets kicked out for a Delaware Rising throw. Some good work by those ball boys, making sure both teams always have the ball ready to rock and roll. And some pressing there from Evan Scott. And now Hermiller putting some pressure on as well. And a good step from Miller. No, that was White. White and Miller have switched positions for the current time being. Good touch there from that Greater Columbus player, which ultimately ball goes out for a Delaware Rising throw. And Vuvuzela still going hard. Our fans are just awesome. And now the ball finds the feet of Hermiller, who tries to chip it up to Manivolovsky. Manivolovsky does get it, and a strong challenge on Manivolovsky, and that is a free kick for Delaware Rising in quite a dangerous area. And Evan Worley will take this. Certainly in shooting range, not the best angle, as I would expect him to cross the ball in, and does so. Lovely ball in, but the keeper comes out, goes over top of his own man, and it's in the goal! It's in the goal! And he hit his own player, so that should certainly be a goal for Delaware Rising, as the goalkeeper goes up over top of his own man, falls on his man, loses the ball as he hits the ground, and a Delaware Rising player kicks the ball into the back of a net. That should certainly be a goal. As the referee is calling a pause. As the referee is checking on the players first, and we'll see what the conversation is after that. So I think he's calling on his coach to check on those players. I think the referee is going to have a conversation just off of the right hand of your screen with the line judge. And this has to be Delaware Rising goal. I mean, we have the footage. Looks like both players are up and okay. A lengthy discussion going on between both of the referees down there on the sideline. And no call has been given yet. Sorry, I'm not trying to kick the camera. And it looks like it's not a goal. You're joking. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. That's an absolute joke. Oh my goodness gracious. I've got to calm down because I'm the stream guy. Holy cow. Well, we've got the footage, which won't do us any good. But now we're back underway. A few deep breaths. I've learned that, especially being a coach. And no foul called there, even though that's looked like that should have been a foul. And Delaware has possession. Unfortunately, just kicks it away. And Mason Morris, one of our viewers, one of our team members who couldn't be here today, says ref had a stinker. And that is for sure. That is one of the worst calls I've seen in a long time. But I do anticipate that poor call getting a lot of players energized, and a foul called against Greater Columbus. You can already see the scrappiness is starting to heat up. It's going up a level, as to be anticipated. LAF 10617 is the same ref as last couple times. No, this is a different referee. We've not had him ref any of our games yet this season. I'm fairly certain. Now I'm getting confused between last season and this season. But I do believe he is a new ref that we had last season, but not this season quite yet, as a substitution is being made by both teams. Carvajal comes on, takes that striker position. Manivolowski takes a break. And a substitution for Greater Columbus as well. Play resumes. I assume that we are getting close to halftime. We don't have a scoreboard, so the official time will be on the wrist of the referee. And a lovely flick by Evan. And now Jeremy Carvajal. It's only kicked out of bounds by the Greater Columbus team. So a Delaware Rising throw in the corner. Now Seth with a nice first touch to bring the ball down. I'm still calm. Deep breaths. And a lovely through ball from Greater Columbus to find number 3. Greater Columbus trying to find a way through, but some still solid defense from Delaware Rising. Forces them all the way back. So good stuff from the Rising from a defensive standpoint. And another quick score update. It is still 0-0. Should be 1-0 for the Rising. But it is still 0-0 as far as the refs are concerned and as far as the results are concerned. And a call against Jeremy in the corner. There's a foul against Delaware Rising, so a free kick for Greater Columbus. And that is halftime, folks. That will bring us to the half. Score still 0-0, but about 5 minutes to go until the second half ended. You did see a collision between the goalkeeper for Greater Columbus and one of their own defenders, but it seems a foul was called or something was called. So the goal was not allowed, even though Delaware Rising did kick it into the back of the net. So that makes our score line 0-0. It's going to be an intense match for the second half, so you are not going to want to go anywhere, because this is an interesting storyline as the goal is called off, as it should not have been. So it's going to be scrappy, as we all know. Plus, a lot of former Delaware Rising players also on the Greater Columbus side. It's been a good game so far. Again, score is 0-0. I will be adjusting our camera, getting things set up for the second half, but don't go anywhere. It's going to be exciting. I'll see you in roughly 10 minutes, so go grab your popcorn, grab some snacks, and then plop right back down in front of your TV, your phone, wherever you are, because it is going to be a good one. I'll see you then. Do you know what that call was?
What's that?
Not like the goal that was not allowed?
No. Caleb Masters. He said it's pretty much the same thing that happened to him last week, where the guy ran into him, and the difference was that it was his own player.
His own player? That is ridiculous.
So.
Oh my gosh.
But
glad I'm up here.
Right.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Tyler said he just said he got the first card for yelling, and then he got the second one for throwing his water bottle.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then John said he got tossed basically for calling the ref trash.
Yeah, I figured he said something to that effect. Yeah, that one makes sense.
I mean, you hate to think that the ref's doing something just like in the heat of the moment, but I don't know how you call that anything else when you hand out 3 cards like that, especially a straight red.
Yeah, not a straight red for saying the ref was trash.
Insane.
Yeah, give me yellow for sure. Just be like, hey kid, quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler said if he knew that the ref was just going to give him a red card or a yellow card for doing that, he said he would have gotten his money's worth.
Yeah, true. It's going to be interesting. Jump down here real quick. Oh gosh, I cannot believe that call.
Right.
I can't even think about it. I'm going to throw up.
Positives, they look good.
I know.
In the first half, they played really well.
That's what I said down there too. Like, guys, your defense is looking stellar. Just keep that up, and we'll get our chances. Yeah, this is by far our best first half we've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we have the same style of play the second half.
Right.
Maybe we need to kick Coach Treadway out more often. I want to yell at him. If I was him, I'd be going over there. You can see the whole field out there.
Right. Maybe they're trying to stay out of the way, though.
Yeah.
The refs.
Yeah, that's probably true. And we need to have Treadway throw a water bottle every game.
Right. Fire up the guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's to be expected. If you're going to throw a water bottle like that.
Right.
You know, you get a card of some sort. Oh, man. All right, I guess it's time.
Yep.
All right, folks, it's about time. I'm going to plug in the mic as we get ready to go. All right, fam. The referee gets us underway. I'm going to adjust our camera just a bit, just to try to sneak us around this corner. But here we go. Let's see what we've got in store. Teams have switched sides. So Greater Columbus is going from left to right. Delaware Rising is going from right to left. And we're expecting an intense second half after the goal was disallowed, even though it should not have been. So Delaware Rising fired up. And Greater Columbus, lovely through ball. I'm going to bring you this way so we can still see the action. And a lovely save. My goodness gracious, what a save from Connor. Just snuck us over there so you could see that. Beautiful save to keep the game 0-0. Ultimately, it's cleared out for a corner for Greater Columbus, who takes it quickly. They go short and put into the box. And it's deflected by, looks like a Delaware Rising player for another corner kick for Greater Columbus. But again, what a great save from Connor to keep us in this game. Greater Columbus pressing early, looking for that go-ahead goal. Again, feel free to drop your comments as the ball goes in. Flicked away by a Delaware Rising defender, headed away as well then by Schwalik. And number 7 has a rip, deflected. Good defense there. Number 6 now. And a ball in. It's still in the mixer. Deflected by Lumbee now. And Celiscar tries to clear it. Handball not called. Looks like the ref played advantage, and a good advantage being played here. And oh, Lumbee stops his run. Oh, unfortunately, we had the counter. Now some space here. Has a shot, but a good step from Barrett. And a nice first touch. No, unfortunately finds a Greater Columbus player. And a good switch. Finds the feet of their striker. Good turn by him. And flicks it in, but a lovely defensive effort to clear that out for another corner by Schwalik. Greater Columbus has the gas pedal pressed to the floor. But hopefully we're looking for another strong defensive showing from Delaware Rising. Ball is in, headed away by Miller, who gets hit to the floor. Which looks like that should have also been a foul. But just called a goal kick, as it was kicked toward goal, but went far over by a Greater Columbus player. Score update still 0-0 for those of you just joining us. A little controversy toward the end of the first half. And in the middle of the half, as the head coach for Delaware Rising, Coach Tyler Treadway, sees 2 yellows, which do equal a red, so he is now out. Good step from Worley. Now what can Delaware Rising do with it? They reset back to Sexton. And if you're not able to hear it, you can hear some of the Greater Columbus team members telling them to press, try to keep them tucked back. And it was out for a Delaware throw. And Worley gets hit in the head, looks like by an elbow, and is down. No foul called there. And it was kicked out by a Greater Columbus player, so Scott throws it back to the goalkeeper of Greater Columbus so they can reset their possession. And the ball bounces off of Schwalik's head for a Greater Columbus throw. Try to get you a little better angle here. There we go. And a good defensive effort there from McComb. Some good bodying there, and Schwalik wins out. And a lovely find to Evan Scott, who has some space. And does get knocked down, but no foul called. And a good attempted switch, but Owens is there to intercept. Good work by him. And again, our back line is just playing a solid match today. Now Lumbee intercepts. Evan gets knocked off the ball. That's Evan Worley. Now 6 with some space in the center. Miller steps up. Now Celiscar wide. And good sliding challenge from Nathan. Forces the Columbus player to try to kick it toward goal. Looks like it was a shot, but it just finds the side netting without deflecting a Delaware Rising player, so it will be a goal kick. Good turn there from the Greater Columbus player after being put under some serious duress by Evan Scott. And Barrett steps up now. And McComb wins that challenge. returns to his central defensive position as the center of that 3-back formation. And the ball over the top. And Schwalek does a good job defending that as it does go out for a corner kick for Columbus. As this is maybe their 3rd or 4th corner for Greater Columbus in just the second half. They are not messing around. And here's your corner. A floater ball into the center. Oh, a good flick. Oh, my goodness. And no, that was McComb gets hit and knocked down after he flicks the ball away, as that should have been a foul. But ultimately, it falls to a Greater Columbus player who has the shot and just hits it into the side netting. Thankfully, this is another goal kick. And now the ref is certainly letting them play the second half, so a little bit of a different strategy compared to the first half. There's Barrett applying some pressure. Ultimately, it just deflects and finds the feet of a Columbus player who flicks the ball in, tries to find the attacker making the run, but finds the grateful hands of Sexton. Miller tries to play that through to Scott, just a little too soft. Good step there by Barrett. And cleared, but only as far as a Greater Columbus player who has some space. Winds up, has a shot, and that goes well high and wide. But at the beginning of the second half, it has really been all Greater Columbus. The Delaware defense still holding strong. And you can see Greater Columbus playing a bit of a higher press and a higher line this half compared to second half, so a little bit of a different strategy for them. And smart play by Scott to let that ball go because he was offside. And a big drop back to the Greater Columbus keeper. And Scott pressing. But just like our keeper, Sexton, this keeper as well is confident in his footwork ability. Now Delaware Rising doing a little pressing of their own, in which ultimately does result in a turnover. But unfortunately still finds the feet of a Columbus player and then has a nice flick to find his man on the wing. And Owens hits the ball, and then their player goes down, and it is called a goal kick. And substitution being made. And that is Charlie Holman, who is taking the pitch as one of the center back pairings. He is a former Delaware Rising player as well. So as you can see, quite a few former Delaware Rising players on the roster here at Greater Columbus. Some good possession there from Delaware Rising. Good quick passing. As Schwalek tries to send his man down the line, but unfortunately just a miss hit and goes out. Barrett flicks it away, but it finds a Columbus player. Oh, a lovely through ball, but good recovery there. And the ball still bouncing around, deflecting off of players left and right, and finally Barrett clears it out of bounds. And it does deflect off of a Columbus player, so it's a Delaware throw. And a quick score update for all of you. It is still 0-0. We've had a great match so far. Some controversy, some storylines, and some great soccer. A miss kick there from the Columbus player, and McComb is all over that, but then unfortunately loses out. Miller with a good step, takes possession. Woof. And Evan Scott gets rolled over by number 6. So that will be a free kick for Delaware. Miller looking to try to take a quick free kick, but no options available, so decides to let the team get set. Swings the ball across the field. It does find Carvajal eventually. And unfortunately, taken by Greater Columbus, but good interception from Barrett. Now Lumby with little space. Oh. And Lumby with a good little turn, tries to flick it through. Unfortunately intercepted, but good idea. Now play down the sideline. Owens chasing, and a good cut in from that wing, but Owens has that good recovery speed as the ball gets flicked in across and goes out for a goal kick. And a great recovery by Owens. And again, thank you all for joining our stream. I know we switched over to YouTube, and it's been going well. Knock on some wood. I don't have any wood near me, so somebody knock on some wood for me. So you'll be seeing all of our streams live on our YouTube channel. We'll, of course, share the link on our Facebook page as well, so you can easily jump over and check that out. We appreciate you all joining the stream and chilling with us here. The ball goes through. We'll find the gloves of Sexton. And a quick ball. Miller with a good space to turn, has some space to take. Seth tries to chip that up to the top. Jeremy does bring it down. Unfortunately, he doesn't find a Delaware player, but does hustle back. And a good interception, ultimately for a Columbus throw. Good step from Schwalek to keep his defender there. It does go out for a throw off of his deflection. A good quick throw. But Seth knocks it back to Sexton. And it ultimately does go out of bounds. You can't keep the handle on it, so it crosses the line. So that will be a corner kick for Greater Columbus. I think this might be number 5 of the half. And a substitution being made. And Devin Collins will be coming on for number 24. Devin Collins, another former Delaware Rising player. And Devin is a good player. We appreciated his services. Good corner kick here in the danger zone. Who's going to get it? And Seth Barrett wins that header. And Barrett again with another header. Delaware Rising working to try to get that ball out, but Columbus does maintain possession. And a good tackle there. I think that was Jeremy going back and gets possession. Now McComb with a little space. Good cut inside. Looking for some options. Flicks it through to Lumby. A lovely flick through. And a lovely ball. Oh, and he's called offside. Oh, I don't know about that one. That was tight. That was tight. It looks like we are not getting the calls today, as he did hold his run. We'll be seeing that one later on this video as well, and you'll have to tell us what you think, offsides or not. But a good counter attack there from Delaware Rising. And now big body from number 12. Ultimately gets through Celiscar. And Schwalek steps in front. Some good defense. And a good step from Miller, and Miller hits the ball, clears it away. Oh, a good step from number 7, who has possession at the top of the D, has a strike, and doesn't worry Sexton as he watches that one go wide. And it looks like there's a Columbus player who is down. Looks like he got caught up in that pinball match, which eventually got cleared and then put wide for a shot. Well, we hope he's all right. The ref is calling for one of their coaches to come onto the field. Looks like they just have to send on a player to check in on their other player, as we have a substitution. It looks like a double substitution's being made. McComb coming off, taking a break. Hermiller taking his place, and Lozano as well coming on. That looks like for Celiscar. This is Manuel's first appearance in today's match. Let's see what he'll bring. It doesn't look too good for that Columbus player, as he needs some assistance to get off of the pitch. Looks like he's not putting any pressure on that right leg. We hope he's all right. A substitution also being made for Greater Columbus. Number 5 coming on. Looks like for number 7. And just a score update as we have a break. Still 0-0. I would say that the better attacking chances have come for Columbus in the second half. But maybe that will be changing here as Evan puts some pressure on that back defender, who does do well to get it back to his goalkeeper. And Owens, lovely touch and pass. Looks like out to Jeremy on that right wing. And tries to cross the ball in. Ultimately finds the hands of the keeper, who tries to play the ball quickly. And Schwalek in good position there and clears it out. Lovely play from Schwalek to body his man, and unfortunately Manuel just runs past the ball and it goes out for a Columbus throw. Some great defense there from Schwalek. Some space for number 5 as Evan steps in, gets some good possession. Lumbee finds Hermiller. Hermiller out to Carval. Oh, and unfortunately can't find a player in blue. Lumbee tries to step in, but still finds the foot of a Columbus player, who swings it across to number 3. A lovely ball. And Manuel fighting for possession there. Ultimately bodies his man, but it does go out for a corner. Looks like he did shoulder off the player to try to keep it from touching a Delaware player, but it is called a corner kick for Columbus. And if I keep counting correctly, I'm going to start having to using my hands and toes, because that's number 6 of just the second half for Greater Columbus. And 2 subs being made for Greater Columbus. Looks like number 8, Alec Watkins, a former Delaware player, coming on, and number 21. And a corner into the danger zone, and tries to punch it. Looks like Sexton doesn't get a foot on it, but then Hermiller tries to clear it out, but it is a handball in the end. Corbin asking if the score is still 0-0. Yes, indeed, Corbin. The score is still 0-0. A good ball from Sexton. Finds Lozano with some time and plays the ball down the line. Good idea, but ultimately a handball against Columbus, as it looks like it flicks up and just an unfortunate bounce puts it off against his hand. So a free kick for Evan Worley and Delaware Rising in a dangerous area. Look at that number 10 jersey right there. Worley, the captain, getting ready. Oh, a lovely ball in. And it bounces in the box. Oh, a left-footed hit from Lozano, and it goes wide. Oh, a good chance for Delaware Rising, as it fell to Lozano, who looks like wasn't ready, as it kind of was just a quick deflection. Had to take a quick shot, and unfortunately goes wide. A substitution being made for Greater Columbus. It looks like Evan Scott is signaling he might need a substitution, as he has been hustling up top. And a good win from Cody Lumbee. And he's not the tallest guy on the pitch by any means, and I understand that because I was not either, but has a great win there. And Schwalek with a good interception. Columbus does keep it in. Swing it back to their keeper, who just gets rid of it. And a good first touch there. That may have been Devin Collins. And it looks like a collision between a Delaware Rising and Columbus player. And the ref says no foul. And a good interception there from their center back. Looks like that's Charlie Hoffman making a great run all by himself. And a lovely, oh my goodness gracious. Holy cow. And Charlie Hoffman, a former Delaware Rising player, makes the run all the way through the midfield. It ultimately falls off of a big touch by Charlie into the hands of the goalkeeper. And then Charlie just, I don't know if he's falling already, but ends up going through Connor. And thankfully Connor is all right. And it is a yellow card for a Holman. Thank goodness that Sexton is all right after that is a not fun-looking collision. But that is a patented Charlie Holman run. He did that for Delaware Rising last season as well. And thankfully, it did not result in a goal this time. And still a 0-0 scoreline here. Now Miller on the ball. Finds Lozano, who thinks Miller is still making that run. Does not. And Schwalek with a lovely interception there. And a lovely step by Miller. And Scott tries to do a fancy flick to Miller, but unable to do so. Oh, and looks like a foul is called on Scott. I think maybe it was on the pick and roll play. Scott impeded that player, and it looks like after that nudge, that was the foul call. A good win there from Owens. And Lumbee gets a foot in. Now finds its way to Schwalek, and Schwalek hits it upfield. It does find Evan Scott. Some good footwork there. And then finds Lozano on the wing. Some lovely touches there from Evan Scott. And that ball ultimately goes out of bounds. It is a throw-in for Greater Columbus. And substitution being made for Delaware Rising. Looks like a double substitution being made. Evan Scott coming off and Jeremy Carvajal coming off. Manivolovsky takes that striker position up top, and Nate White runs out to take that right wing position. And some players complaining of not a good form throw-in. Owens clears that ball up the field, and it does flick back off the head of Charlie. It's good defending to get that ball off his head to the keeper so he can use his hands. And the play is still on, as it was a handball, but the ref says advantage is played, perhaps. Didn't see the hand motion for advantage played, but thankfully the boys still kept playing. The ball's flicked up to Nick Manivolovsky, tries to get a foot on it. He's still bouncing around in the center, and a lovely win from Nate White. As far as the keeper as the ball filters through. And Seth wins that ball. As it does fall to Sexton as he waits on it, and a Columbus player charges forward trying to get it, but thankfully he grabs it. And now Owens down the sideline, finds Manivolovsky, who tries to thread it through to Nate White. Unfortunately, just a little too far out of his reach, and that is a Columbus throw. And the ref is telling them to rethrow the ball. Not sure why. He threw it from too far back, but you're able to go back as far as you'd like. And a ball across the field. Lovely ball, too, to number 23, but Schwalek steps in. And Schwalek will still have a little more defending to do, but no, it rolls out of bounds off of a Columbus player, so it will be a Delaware Rising throw. Looks like Cody Lumbee does need a substitution, as he's getting tired. Putting in a good shift in that central mid position. Now we see Barrett with it. Kicks it up, looking for Manivolovsky. And trying to press, Columbus is, but Delaware unfortunately loses out there after almost breaking the press. And there's Barrett with a good challenge on the ball. Lovely stuff as the Columbus player goes down. No foul call. And Barrett is really having a heck of a game. Looks to be okay. He does get up. And I think the call is a goal kick. And we'll take that. Looks like that may have been a foul. If the collision happens, there was no contact on the ball, so it just goes out of bounds for a goal kick, but we'll take it. And foul called there as Seth tries to reach to get the ball. I think that was maybe less of a foul than the other one. And a quick free kick taken by Columbus. Finds 3 on the wing. And good tracking from Schwalik, and then Lozano and Lumby. And number 3 trying to get it through, but a lovely sliding tackle from Miller. Good stuff there from Miller to make sure that that ball is not going in any further into that 18. It goes out for, I think, number 7. Number 7 corner kick for Greater Columbus. The substitution being made for Greater Columbus. Number 9 coming on, 17 coming off. I think that is Devin Collins coming off, if I'm not mistaken. And down in our left-hand side, we see JP Seliskar getting loose, warming back up. And the corner, number 12. And it's flicked up, and thankfully finds the hands off of a Delaware Rising player to Sexton. And Nate White makes a good run, cuts inside, does get hit, and a foul call. Good stuff from Nate. And that is a free kick for Delaware Rising. And if you guys are watching, especially some of you kids, that is exactly what you want to do. If you are out on the wing, cut inside, and you see that your defender is close to you, cut in front of that defender, because then if that defender does nudge you, bump you, put you off balance, that will be a foul call going your way. So a great way to protect the ball. So good stuff from Nate White. Substitution being made. Delaware Rising. Seth gets a break. Looks like he's hobbling a little bit. So Zach White takes the pitch. So it looks like both of our Whites are on, Zach and Nate. So we have Zach in our center. And Nate, I think, is on the right wing still. Oh, and lovely play there. And he flicks a lovely ball in. Oh, it's just over the head of McComb. And Lumby tries to have a swing off the half volley, misses it. Then a Columbus player misses it, but they still do have possession. And a lovely step there from Miller. Unfortunately, it only finds the feet of a Columbus player. And now Nathan is charging. And thankfully, Nathan steps in, wins that ball because Sexton was off his line. And great defending there from Schwalik. Now it's Worley on the wing. Lovely ball to Manivolovsky, who does hold it up. Miller with some space. Miller looking for some options. Doesn't find anything but Worley. Now Nate White on the wing. Delaware Rising with some good possession, recycling the ball. And there's a good check from JP. Draws the defenders in. That's good stuff. Good movement off the ball. And Nathan Schwalik chips that ball up. Has some spin. So some bodies trying to fight for that to get that position. And it is kicked down the line, but only as far as JP Seliskar. And does find Manivolovsky, who is onside. A nice little through ball, but no one making the run, unfortunately. And that will find its way to Schwalik. Oh, and a little miss hit, but thankfully it is into some space. And JP, little shimmy, tries to take on his man. Plays the ball through and still is chasing it. And does get bodied out for a goal kick. And a substitution being made. Looks like Evan Scott is getting ready to come on for Cody Lumby, who did ask for that substitution. Get him a little break, because it is a hot day today, 75 degrees now. But of course, going to be much hotter down on that turf, at least 85. So Evan Scott comes on in that midfield position. Good head by Evan. Skullaskar knocks that up. Good ball down the line. Unfortunate first touch, and Evan facing the other way just boots that out of bounds for a Columbus throw. Looks like a substitution is incoming for Columbus. Number 3 is coming back on. And 15 is coming off. Score check still 0-0. And I love it. Kyle bringing in the chance. As Columbus now is recycling the ball, have some space between the 20 and the 30. Oh, lovely layoff. And it tries to play it into that striker who just can't get a good first touch on it, so it finds its way to Sexton. But we love it. We love seeing Kyle. He says, come on, boys. Shake that call off and score. It's what we need. It's what we need. Schwalek finds Miller. And it does go off of a Columbus player for a Delaware Rising throw. And another substitution. So Owens is coming off, and that is his first break of the game. Comstock comes on. But it looks like Miller is going to take the position where Owens was playing in that right center back. And then Comstock will be playing in that midfield. And Schwalek ends up just clearing that. And there was a foul called on Worley, who did have his hands on that Columbus player. So that will be a free kick after the ref did play advantage. It is in a dangerous area. Can certainly play the ball in the box from there. Hit a nice pinged ball in, and good head away from Comstock. And it still is with Columbus as they attack down that left wing. And Miller does a great job to turn his defender, but it looks like it does go out ultimately for a goal kick. Some good work there defensively from Miller, as maybe it was a foul call. Looks like that was what the call was. Now Delaware Rising trying to get something going, trying to chip that over the top, but that does not work in this case. As Comstock tries to step, and he tries to step in, but it looks like the call is a foul against Greater Columbus. And JP tries to work it down the sideline. And JP does ultimately run into the back of one of those Columbus players as he tries to block off that space, which can be called a foul. Depends on the sequence of play. But usually you'll see that foul called if the player, the offensive player, pokes the ball through and is running and has a chance to get the ball. If his run is impeded, most likely a foul. However, in this situation, it didn't look like Skullaskar had the best opportunity to get the ball, but the foul is called regardless. And now, almost a similar location from the other free kick that Worley took. And he will play this ball in. Oh, a lovely ball into the box once again, but headed down by one of those Columbus players, and Evan gets in the way and unfortunately does bounce out of bounds. And Delaware took the throw, has a hit! Oh, and it's just fading to the outside right over the keeper's net, and it is a goal kick. And now it is getting a little chippy because that foul was somewhat of a questionable call. Then the throw in, looks like that may have been a throw in for Columbus, but Worley takes it quickly and the ref lets the play go. So now some of the Columbus players are yelling at the sideline ref. And boy, are we going to be in for a finish today. Score still 0-0. And what a great showing from Delaware Rising today. And we've got it. Dan, the man, the reporter, the beat reporter on the sideline says about 8 minutes remain. And a nice through ball there from Columbus. And a big first touch by number 9. Thankfully rolls out of bounds for a Delaware Rising goal kick. And again, 8 minutes just about remain. And again, that time ultimately does come down to the referee if he wants to add on any time for the stoppages that we've had in the second half. And now Evan with some time to turn. JP ultimately gets nudged off the ball, so that will be a Columbus throw. And unfortunately, almost goes Delaware Rising's way. And number 5 now making a nice run through. Tries to play it, but Owens is back on. I missed a substitution. Ooh, and Zach gets hit in the face, but a good deflection. And Zach again gets in front of the ball. And again, Zach White 3 times in a row deflects the ball, prevents it from going in near his goal. Lovely stuff from him, especially after getting hit in the face, because that does not feel fun for anybody. But some amazing, solid defensive work from Zach White right there. And some good hold-up play there. But it looks like Scott does come in, intercepts that. Columbus do reset possession. And Rob tries to step in. Looks like he does get the heel of that player, so Comstock. And it looks like the ref is reaching for his pocket. But maybe not. We'll see what he decides to do as the Columbus player is still down as they have a free kick in a very dangerous position. This player does slowly make his way to his feet, so it looks to be all right. So in a very dangerous position now, certainly within shooting range. I would anticipate that will be the case, as it looks like Devin Collins, a former Delaware Rising player, is over top of the ball, along with another individual. One left-footed, one right-footed. And the referee is getting the wall set. Referee looks like providing a little bit of instruction to the wall. And there is number 22 on the right, as the wall is indicating to make sure that they will cover that in case that ball is played out there. But it is Devin Collins having a hit. The wall does its job. Good stuff there. As the ball falls to 22. Now Scott over. Tries to prevent that from going out, but ultimately it does go out for a Greater Columbus throw. That is, a Greater Columbus corner kick. That is number 8, folks. We're almost to double digits. But some great defending, especially by that wall, to block that shot. And we have maybe, 3 or 4 minutes remaining. Good ball in, and it goes off of the thigh of Owens at that near post, but it says, the ref says the ball doesn't even go in. So that will be a goal kick for Delaware Rising. And Comstock says he does need a sub, as he will be coming off. So we have Comstock coming off, and Nate White coming off, and Cody Lumby and Barrett coming on. And here we go. About 3 minutes remain. The ball Getting headed around, ultimately settled down by a Columbus player who tries to chip the ball through, but it will find the hands of our keeper, Sexton. And now finds Miller on a quick outlet. Miller with some space to go. Finds Seliskar on the wing. And a good challenge there from number 22. And tries to find number 9 on the wing. He does keep it in the corner. Gets around his player, but a lovely sliding challenge from White. And number 22 still with the ball. Hits it in and punched away by the keeper. And thankfully, not the best first touch from the Columbus player. And lovely block from Evan Scott. Still tries, but nice footwork from number 3 to get around him. And then cleared away by Delaware. Columbus still has possession. Now Seliskar on the first touch does get possession. And tries to get around it, but it is just kicked out by that Columbus player. Good work from Seliskar. And a big throw. And it is headed out by a Columbus player. And 2 minutes remaining from our sideline reporter, Dan the Man. 2 minutes remain. As the ref is checking his watch. Do we have one last chance to claim all 3 points here at Grandview Heights? A short throw. Seliskar puts a lovely ball in the box. Oh, and no one can get on the end of it. But Rylan Owens tries to get there. Unfortunately cannot. Evan Scott slips, and it will be a foul call on Evan. Which looks like nothing malicious. Looks like he kind of just did stumble there as he was getting ready to challenge the ball. And taken quickly now by Columbus as they try to swing. And he chips the ball over the top. And headed back smartly by Miller to Sexton. About 1 minute to go. Do we have one last chance to get the go-ahead goal? A good win there from that Columbus player. Now Rylan. Good work by Rylan and good communication there as Worley takes over. But unfortunately, Scott loses possession. But Lumbee over the back, and a foul is called. So Columbus will try to want to take this quickly, and they do. And JP with a lovely interception. Good work. Oh, you got to go quicker, JP. And now number 5. Oh, tries to slot number 17 through. And lovely stuff there by Connor, who does get that ball. Clears it out for a throw, trying to get back quickly. And the ball is in. Number 22 has it. Not much time remains. Tries to flick it in. Good stuff by Worley. And a foul is called down in that corner against Columbus as Zach White does some good stuff to put his body between the ball and his man. And a substitution is happening. Number 15 is coming on. Off is number 22. And Miller takes the kick. And 3 minutes of added time is the call. Dan the Man with the report. We have 3 minutes, folks, of added time. So there is still time for either team to make this one more exciting. And now Dilla Rising. Oh, some miscommunication there in the middle. And Seth Barrett back in that center. Heads it away. And now McComb gets clipped down there as he's going for the ball. The guy sticks out his foot. Unnecessary. He's not even going for the ball. You hate to see that. But good hustle by McComb. And it is a yellow card in the end. Free kick for Delaware. It looks like Sexton is up to take this. Potentially going long. And the ref brings us back to play. Sexton with a good ball up. And kind of a miss hit. Does find Worley.
And a lovely ball flicked in. He hits it, it's a goal! Delaware Rising scores with an absolutely amazing ball in. It's flicked over by Manivolovsky. No, it's flicked over by Lumbee. And Manivolovsky scores with an amazing turn to put the Rising up 1-0 with maybe just 1 minute remaining in regulation. An absolutely amazing sequence of play. And what an absolutely fantastic goal from Delaware Rising. Now Delaware Rising leads 1-0 with just seconds left on the clock. Now we just need to defend, lock it down, and see this out. And it looks like Manuel gets excited on the sideline and does get a yellow card, but nothing malicious there. The referee jotting down Manuel Lozano's name. We've had quite a few cards in this one, both on the field and off. But here we go. It looks like the Hail Mary formation is enacted as you see almost all of the Columbus players lining up on the halfway line. They drop it back. And they flick it up. And Connor's coming for that ball. And Connor does grab it. And will hold on for dear life. Connor blasted upfield. Ref still not ready to call this yet. And Manivolovsky, nice chest down. And almost looked like he was kind of having a hit. Certainly a clear, but the keeper was off his line. And it does go out for a goal kick. And that will waste valuable seconds. So good stuff by McComb to clear that down the line. And cleared out of bounds by Worley. The ref checks his watch. And Zach does get his foot on that. And it looks like it will be out for a corner. And it's number 9. Corner number 9. And the goalkeeper's coming up. Everyone is in the box for this corner. And will this be the last kick of the game? Number 6 to take. Ball does go in. And a hit. It's hit by Sexton. And it goes over. The ball is kicked out of bounds. And that is the game, boys! Delaware Rising with the first victory of the season. And it is over the number 1 team in Nozzle. As we speak, the first 3 points for Delaware Rising. And your final score 1-0. And as I said with the game, our last home game, where Tanner makes the save, the ball don't lie. And that is an amazing match. What a battle between 2 local teams, 2 of the closest teams in Nozzle. And what a game, folks. Coming from a lovely last-second winner by Nick Manivolovsky, assisted by a lovely little back header flick from Lumbee. And that is your game, 1-0. And what a game it was. Super exciting. Thank you all for joining us on this stream, for all of you and for the records. So we'll be able to watch this game whenever we want because it was a great one. And we will be seeing you all very soon in our next match, which I don't even know is when. I'm going to ask Dan, our sideline reporter, if he knows when our next match is.
I feel like it's next Saturday.
And it's next Saturday. It is an away match. And
I think it's against...
some good showing of support there.
I think it's either Stark County or Team Volpine. I think it's Stark County.
And we will be playing Stark County. That is right. In our next away match. So that will be a bit of a journey to get there. But it will be certainly a good match in Stark County. I believe that they are still at the bottom of the league with 0 points. Now with Delaware Rising claiming 3 here today at Grandview Heights. So don't worry. We have 2 more away games. And then our next home game is on June 21st. We hope to see you all there. If you can't make it to the away games, don't worry. We'll still be streaming our game here live on YouTube. We'll be sure to share it on our Facebook page as well so that you can hop over from Facebook. Make sure you get that stream because, wow, this is going to be such an exciting season to watch, especially as this game comes to a conclusion where Delaware Rising beat the top team in the league to claim 3 points. So let's see what happens. It's going to be a great finish to our season. And we still got a lot to go. So you're going to want to stay tuned. I will see you all. This is myself, Andrew Schwalik, and we got Dan the Man, our sideline reporter, signing off. And we will see you at our next game.